I looked up the definition of shit in the Oxford Dictionary and found a picture of the Cambridge Dictionary. Sometimes I'll be out on a date with a woman and things going great, so I'll ask her back to my place for some coffee, but she'll always say no. I think it's because when I say coffee, I actually go, coffee. I once boasted before a boxing match that I'd let my fists do the talking. During the fight, it turned out that my face did a lot of listening. I hired a private investigator to follow my wife around. That way, I'll know where both of them are while I'm cheating with his wife. When I was a kid, my mum used to spank me a lot with the wooden spoon, which probably explains why her cakes always tasted like arse. The most painful way to find out no one likes you is stage diving. I only buy fitted sheets, which makes me look rather silly at Ku Klux Klan meetings. They say even a broken clock is right twice a day, and it's at those times that I try to sell my broken clock. So, Candy Crush Saga is now one of the most popular online games in the world. You might think that it's just a bit of trivial amusement, but the gameplay was actually inspired by the political situation in China, where if 3 or more like-minded people assemble, they'll mysteriously disappear. Anyone play that game? I should ask first. The other day, I smothered a guy to death. Now the look that he had on his face when he died is permanently imprinted in my memory foam pillow. So, have we all heard of the Turner Prize? Yeah. Well, the Turner Prize is one of these art prizes where every year you look at the winning entry and it makes you ask, is this even art? And if I were the organiser, I'd make it so every year's winner is given the previous year's winning piece. And they'll walk away asking themselves, is this even a prize? The world's tallest living man is Jung Jun who stands 7 feet 11 inches. And I think for him, the 7-Eleven store can only be a reminder of how nothing in his life is convenient. So, I was reading about the origins of all the racial slurs that are used against Oriental people, and it turns out there's a unique story behind each one, which is ironic, because us Orientals are all the same. I know some of you are a bit iffy about that joke, but I'm allowed to tell it because of my Oriental heritage. And every other Oriental person is also allowed to tell it. Because we're the same like that. I hate it when I open up a packet of crisps and find there's mostly air inside. I reckon it'd only be fair if the person responsible for this were to crash their car and find the airbag was full of crisps. Red Bull sponsored the guy who fell to Earth all the way from space. This gives me the impression that Red Bull gives you wings that don't work. Sometimes, when I watch porn, I see ads which say there are women in my area who want to fuck me. This makes me feel even more hopeless for not being able to find them. If I were to kill myself by throwing an electrical appliance into the bath, I'd probably choose the waffle maker. That way, I'd die feeling like I got some use out of it. Sometimes, when I'm at swingers parties, I feel like eavesdropping on conversations, but I don't want to look suspicious, so I stand around and wank. I reckon being a bomb disposal expert would have to be one of the most dangerous and stressful jobs that you can have in the army. I suspect the only reason that people join the bomb disposal unit is because it's the only unit in the army where nobody will yell at you while you're doing your job. I answered a personals ad from a woman who claimed to have a body built for sin. It turns out that sin was gluttony. So, have you all heard of 2 Girls, 1 Cup? Yeah, some people? Well, it's a pretty famous video, but don't watch it, because it's 2 girls shitting into a cup and then eating it. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, it's just a piece of filth. But if you wanted to pretend like it had any sort of message or artistic merit, what you could do is have the 2 girls shitting into a mug, which said, "World's Greatest Dad." Asparagus makes my piss smell funny, and vice versa. If you don't know what a glory hole is, don't look into it. So, do you all remember the video game Snake? Yeah? Well, you might think that game is, just again, a bit of trivial amusement, but it actually has a hidden message about the nature of fame and success. Because in the game, the bigger you get, the harder it becomes to not find yourself up your own arse. Now, you may or may not know that when a man dies by hanging, he'll sometimes bring a massive stiffy. Has anybody read this? No? Well, the scientific explanation for it is when you hang a man, you can sometimes damage the spinal cord in such a way that causes an erection. But I prefer to believe in a supernatural explanation, which is whenever an innocent man is hanged, he'll get a boner, which points at the real murderer. Other than that, thank you.
Alright, you're in a second. Big applause.